What's going on, brother? Today we're going to talk about muscle and strength. And listen, you don't have to be strong to build muscle, and I'm going to explain this video today. But if you're new here, my name's Gino, and for the last 12 years of my life, I've worked as a men's fitness and personal development coach, specializing in helping men like you build their first 25 pounds of muscle. So let's jump into it today, because there's a lot of confusion around muscle and strength. People think you have to train heavy, you need to be strong in order to build muscle, and that is just not true. Because strength and muscle are not codependent upon each other. And I'm going to give you a couple examples here today. The first one is, we've all seen that guy in the gym, small but mighty, right? You got the small little short guy, looks like he was farm equipment for a living. He's got the massive knees, and he's just stocky as hell, right? Dude's strong as fuck. But the thing is, he doesn't really look like he has a lot of muscle on his body, okay? You could be small but mighty. That's because most strength comes from these two different factors right here, okay? Not necessarily muscle size, but joint surfaces, okay? When two bones meet at a joint, like say in my knee, like this bone meets this bone, there's two surfaces that have to come in contact with one another, okay? If those surfaces are very large, that means they can tolerate more weight. Does that make sense? So people with bigger joints can actually move more weight, hypothetically speaking, okay? So there's also connective tissue. Now, connective tissue is how your muscle actually connects to your bone, okay? So it's the anchor point. It creates stability. It's how the muscle pulls things. So if you have really thick connective tissues, which some people do, okay, then you're going to be able to move a lot more weight. If you have really thin connective tissues, then you may not be able to move as much weight, okay? So it's not dependent on muscle size as much as it's dependent on the joint and the connective tissue itself. Okay, that's why you got the small but mighty dudes running around lifting all the weights, okay? The second thing is going to be, some people are batshit crazy, dude. Some people are fucking nuts. They're cuckoo, they're psycho, okay? They can work up all this willpower and move some shit even though they don't look like they can do it, right? We call that retard strength, right? We've all heard this term before. Nothing to be too offensive, but it's a term that we use because some people should not be able to lift certain amounts of weight, and they just can force it upon themselves with strict willpower alone. They don't look like they have any muscle in their body. Maybe they're even wearing a small size t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? But they're somehow able to work up that energy and move massive amounts of weight. Doesn't make much sense, okay? They're also probably looking for daddy's approval. You know, you got the psychos in the back, you got the CrossFitters and the power lifters screaming at the top of their lungs to lift weight up, right? They're looking for fucking daddy's approval. They're rushing to get home and kiss him on the lips or some shit, right? But so what is all this, what's the point of all this, okay? I want you to understand that muscle and strength are not codependent. You don't need to be a strong guy to build some muscle. Dude, I was weak as fuck when I first started. I was a fragile little gamer, a little nerd, okay? You don't need to be strong to build your first 25 pounds of muscle, okay? Because what you want to do is focus more on the feeling, not the finish. And I say this in multiple videos, guys. You're going to hear it over and over and over again. Because when you're lifting weights, okay, if your objective is to build muscle, you shouldn't be focused on the number. How much weight am I using? How much weight am I lifting? How many number of reps am I doing? This is the wrong focus, okay? It's like if I was pointing to the moon and I was saying, hey, go look at that over there, and you keep staring at my finger. You're not looking at what actually matters here. You're not doing what actually matters. Your focus isn't in the right place, okay? So what you want to do is focus on the feeling. Do you feel the muscle that you're using? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel a burn in your biceps when you're using your biceps? Okay? That's a good indication that you're on your track to build muscle, okay? So focus on the feeling, not the finish. All right, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave me a like down below and let me know. Are you strong? Are you struggling with strength? What other questions do you have related to building your first 25 pounds of muscle? Let's start a dialogue down below.